Hi, this is Happy Bird from happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make these cute little stuffed envelopes to make for Christmas. And these literally cost pennies to make. I made them out of brown paper lunch sacks, and I used my scrap pieces of scrapbooking paper and ribbon, buttons, rhinestones, and for the button down here, you can turn anything you want into a button. And these are quite roomy, and they have, it's blank on the back, so you can write to and from or a Christmas sentiment, anything you'd like. And I'll show you towards the end of the video what I stuffed these with. So I really hope you stay tuned. I think you're going to enjoy this video. So hold on and I'll show you exactly how I put these together. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is just a regular paper lunch sack, okay? And you're going to need some Elmer's Craft Bond in extra strength glue stick, okay? Make sure it's extra strength. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open the sides like this, okay? And I'm just going to put glue stick on here like this. Make sure you get it on the edges. And then just seal it. And then you're going to turn it around and do the same thing on this side here. Okay? Okay, so now you're going to put some glue here at the top, right here, and then right here. So basically what you're doing is you're just sealing the bag shut, okay, just like that. This is going to be sealed completely shut. Alright, now you should allow this to dry for about 10 or 15 minutes before you start on it, but I'm going to just go ahead and do this. Alright, now you want to place the paper bag on the side where the bottom part can flip up like that, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to put glue right there as well. Press that down. All right. Okay, so basically every area that was open is sealed. All right, so now we're going to look at the top of the bag here, the part where the notch is, okay? And you're going to fold these two pieces the best you can to form a nice little triangle at the top. And it does not have to be 100% perfect because these paper bags aren't perfect. And just line them up, like I said, the best you can. And don't worry about how this top part looks because we'll be cutting that off. Okay, so let's see how well I was able to put these together. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to take some more of this glue stick and I'm just going to rub it all over this little triangle here and fold this over, press it down, do the same thing on this side here. And don't worry about anything popping up here because that will be glued down eventually. Okay? So now we're going to focus on the bottom part here. Now, we're not, when we flip this up like this, we're not going to do it right here on the line, right here. We're going to go up about maybe an inch or so. I'm just estimating. We're going to go right up to the top, just below where the triangles are, okay? Just slightly below, maybe an eighth of an inch below. And we're gonna fold this here, and we're gonna fold this down to make sure we can do that nice and neat. You can use a bone folder if you want, but I'm just using my fingers on this. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So we're going to open it up and take your hot glue gun and put a stripe of glue right up to that point. And then gently press it. You don't want to press it down too hard because you don't want a whole bunch of glue leaking out of the edges here, okay? And this will hold really well. And you don't have to worry about this opening up. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing here. Notice I'm putting the hot glue about an eighth of an inch inwards. That way when I gently press this down, that also helps not to have any leakage out of here. Okay, so I'm going to let that cool for a second. And I'm not putting a ton of hot glue. And then we'll have a nice little pocket in here, okay? Like that. Now with this part right here, I'm just going to take my long blade scissors and I'm going to cut as straight as I can. Like so. That's not very straight, so let's try that again. Almost, but not quite. There we go. And one thing I like about these bags is you can kind of play around with them, you know. Alright, so, do I like that? There we go. That looks a little better. And like I said, it's not going to be perfect. So for this part, you can use any kind of scrapbooking paper that you'd like, any type of scraps that you have in there. That would be a good way to use up these scraps. I'm just going to flip this over and I'm going to line this up with the top and just fold over like that. Make sure that's pushed right up against there. I'm going to take my mechanical pencil at this point and just kind of trace it like that. Okay. Now, I'm not going to be cutting on the lines. I'm going to cut in about an eighth of an inch in, maybe. I'm estimating. Not like that. And see, then you can glue it on the top like that. Okay. I think I need to move my camera down a little bit to do this part. Okay, so I'm going to take my little glue here. I bought these bottles off eBay. I like the little silicone tops here. You don't lose them and it gives it a nice tight fit, and these don't dry out. if you go onto eBay and you type in the words precision tip bottles, you'll see a lot of these pop up. And I'm just going to put a little bit here on the edges. And you can put any kind of clear liquid glue in here. The Elmer's clear glue will work fine. I just emptied out the rest of my Tombow glue, my mono liquid glue. It's called Aqua. And I close it up right away when okay, we're gonna put this on about here. If you wanted to, you could use your glue stick as well, but I'm using the clear glue because I didn't want that to peel off. I wanted it to really stick. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing on the underside here. Okay. Sure it's up against that. And you noticed how I'm not making perfect lines when I'm tracing this. I have to move this paper over. I dropped my paper with the glue on it, so right on top of this. Okay, and once again, you're going to cut inwards about 1/8 of an inch or so. Once again, I am estimating. Okay. Okay. Put this at the top, like that. Okay, so I'll glue that on, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I put the Turbo Tacky Glue down on this little flap, and I'm pressing this grosgrain snowflake ribbon on here, and then I'm just going to cut it right here, and I might have to still glue it in certain places. In fact, I'm just going to cut it off like that for now, and then lift this up and add a little more of the glue. This is the Turbo Tacky Glue, and so I do have to squeeze a little bit harder on this bottle because that glue is thicker. You can also use fabric glue if you'd like. That'll work if you're using the grosgrain ribbon. If you're using something from the Dollar Tree, like this, you don't need as much, that's for sure. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to turn this over. It's just easier for me to cut when I do it that way. And I'm just going to cut this ribbon following the line of the flap, the envelope flap. Okay. And there we go. Okay. Alright. Now, I bought these buttons at Walmart. They have them hanging up in packages, and they're all different shades of pink and different sizes, medium and small buttons. I believe I paid under $3 for this bag. There's 130 of them, and I just emptied them into this baggie here, but it gives you a nice selection because they are different sizes and shades and types. And here's some red and green ones. Now I've already used quite a few of these on some of my projects, but I bought a bag of multicolored red and multicolored green, and then I put them into this bag to use as Christmas buttons. They had some in purples too that I saw. I thought that was really pretty. I'm going to have to pick up some of those. And they had shades of blue. So you might want to check Walmart out the next time you go. Okay. So I'm going to take one of these little pink buttons here. Then I'm going to take some cord. I would have used baker's twine, but I didn't have any in pink. All I have is red and white and green and red and white. So that wouldn't look quite right on this. Now, this cord, when you cut it, it automatically just unravels. So I had to tie a knot and then cut it off like that. Alright, so I'm going to place this button here, about like so. But I'm going to place this down first, right in the middle, and then the button on top of that. And only tie one knot, otherwise you're going to have a hard time fitting the button on there. Okay, so a little bit of hot glue, put this in there, and then I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue on top of this cord, and I'm going to add the little button like so. And I'm not real worried about the hot glue coming out of the little buttonholes, so I'm going to be doing something to cover that in a moment. Gotta pull it over a little, kind of hold it straight. It's kind of hard with that knot under there, but it can be done. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little wooden snowman button, and I purchased a bunch of these on eBay. If you go to eBay and you type in the words Christmas buttons wood or Christmas buttons wooden, you'll see a lot of these type of buttons that'll pop up. They generally sell them 25 or 50 in a pack, and they're pretty inexpensive. But just look at the seller and look at the feedback. I don't know if AliExpress would have anything like this or not. I haven't checked. But you can use really any piece. You can use a resin piece if you want. But this was just one of the little buttons I purchased. Okay, so I'll stop my yakking. And the next thing I'm going to do is directly below the button here, this pink button, I'm going to place this little snowman. I'm going to hold it up like this, and then just kind of move it slightly to the side. And I'm going to be placing a circle of hot glue, but the circle is going to be more like a mound. Okay, and I'm not going to put a ton because, and I'll show you why in a moment. See, about like that, okay? I'm not going to place a ton. I'm just going to barely set this little button on top of the glue, and I'm going to have to hold my fingers just like this on the button until that little mound starts to dry. And when it starts to dry, if you kind of turn it like this, you can, or wiggle it, you can see whether it's dry or not. Okay, I didn't use a huge mound, just a small mound, because I want room around this button. Okay, and you'll see why in a moment. It's still moving, so you can blow on it a little bit too. That might help. Now I'm still wiggling. I have it up a little ways. So there's a gap between the paper bag and the button. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could buy the foam mounts and cut them into small circles and, you know, put them on that way. But I'm just showing you in case you don't have those foam mounts. See, it's starting to harden. I'm able to move it a little bit less. So I'm going to blow on this. Alright, so now it's pretty much standing up on its own, and you can see there's a gap, see? Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to let this completely harden 100% before I even try to wrap this around and show you guys, okay? And we'll finish decorating the rest of the bag when we come back as well. Okay, so this is thoroughly dry, and like I said, you could use really any type of resin piece or anything you wanted and turn it into a button. And after you fill this little bag, you just wrap it around like this. And if you want this a little shorter, the string, you can do that as well, but then it's nice and sealed. So I'm going to unwrap this like so, and I'll show you inside. It's very sturdy, nice and roomy inside too. Okay, so before we start filling it, I chose some flat back rhinestones, and this is just a part of some clear rhinestones I bought at the Dollar Tree, and this is Dollar Tree. This was Dollar Tree a very long time ago. I haven't seen this color in years. You can also buy these at the 99-cent store. You actually get a little more on the sheets than you do at the Dollar Tree, but I like the Dollar Tree ones. I think they're very pretty, so I still pick them up. So I'm going to take these little rhinestones and start with a pink. Now, mind you, when the lid is closed like this, you're not going to want any rhinestones underneath here. So before you actually start putting them on, just wrap this around a couple of times just to keep this part closed. Okay, so you can kind of estimate where you want these. And I'm just randomly putting these all over. They also have the adhesive pearls, if you want to add a few pearls in here and there. And this side, maybe down here. And this is fun just to do this, it's relaxing. You can have the kids help you out if you want. I snap these upwards like that to take them off. Okay, and then I'm going to try a row of this. Might need a little more. On that. These are an inexpensive way to decorate. If you don't have access to rhinestones, or you for some reason can't spend that little amount of extra money, maybe you're especially tight during the holidays, maybe you're out of work, etc., you also have another option, or actually several options, but one of them is to do what I did on this one, and that is to take a hole puncher and just punch out pieces from little scrapbook scrapbooking paper scraps, and then you can just glue them on. And what I like to do is I like to just take this little bottle here with a turbo tacky glue in it, and I would just dot it all over, and then just pick up my little rhinestone picker tool and just pick it up and place it on like this, each little circle that I punched out, and it went very quickly. So that's another option. You can also use buttons if you have a big button stash. You can hot glue buttons. I would recommend to hot glue those on. And let's see, what else? There's so many different things that you could do. I don't think I'll put one down there. Maybe here. One thing I like about these too is you can dress them up or dress them down. Okay, so I'm just going to put one row of these on. You know, another option would be to decorate it like this and put this in the front, which I might just do. Let's see. Do I want to do that or not? See, if I'm going to do that, I probably should have put this button up a little higher so I could have gone across here. So, if you're going to do that, remember that, okay? Because this is pretty. But it would be a little awkward for me to even try to wrap that button since I have it down so low. So if you're going to decorate this part with rhinestones, move this button up a little further, like about here, okay? So you'll have room. So, you know what? I might just do this though. Like that on one side. Does that look dumb? If I do it that way? And then put another row here. Yeah, doesn't look quite right. I think it would need to be wrapped all the way around. So I'm just going to take this off and just continue placing this on here. And of course you don't have to do yours exactly like mine. I'm making these just to give you guys a start, you know, somewhere to start, and then you can just go on from there, decorating with your own ideas. But this kind of gives you a little bit of a push to think outside the box, gives you a place to begin. And a lot of people, that's all they need, is just a place to begin. Okay, and here, and maybe here. Okay. Alrighty, so here we go. So now we're going to fill this. And I like how roomy this is inside. You can get the Taster's Choice coffee at the Dollar Tree. There are 6 packets in a box. And if you can't find them at your Dollar Tree, they do have these at Kroger's for $1.29. It's a little more, but... And I know that Ross also has some nice instant coffee pouches in the Starbucks brand. And you can put 1 coffee stick or 2 coffee sticks in here. Then I would pick up some type of flat candy. The Dollar Tree has the Russell Stover mint patties. They also have them in, I've seen them in caramel. I've seen them in strawberry cream, marshmallow. But I picked these up. There's only 6 of these in each bag at the Dollar Tree. So if you're going to make just a few of these, that would be okay to buy them. But if you're planning on making a lot of these, then you might want to think about a little larger package and maybe purchasing them somewhere else to save money. But as long as the candy is somewhat flat, like the mint patties or the Ghirardelli squares, you know, that you see quite a few of during the holiday season. Okay, so they're kind of flat. Alright, so I'm going to see, you can put like one coffee stick, a couple of candies, and a small miniature candy cane in here, or you can place 2 coffee sticks and 2 mints. So if you need to, just kind of shake it down and fold this over to get it in. You can put a gift card in here. I'm going to push this coffee stick towards the bottom, and it fits very nicely in there. I just fold one end like that. I'm going to put 2 in there, like that. See? Okay, there's so much room. And then I'm going to place 2 of the mint patties in here, like that. And if you wanted to, I think you would still have room to slip a gift card in the back. Okay. And you're going to fold this over. Actually, you can fold these tops over like this as well. Okay. So now I'm just going to fold this over like so and wrap it around like this. Now, if you'd like, you can also turn this over, and you have lots and lots of room to put some Christmas wishes on here, to and from, whatever you'd like. You have this whole blank space here, or you can slip in a little note card. And one thing I love about these, like I said before, is the fact that you can dress these up or dress these down, and they turn out really cute. And they really do cost pennies to make, because you're basically using your scraps to put these together. So I really hope you give this a try. This is a really fun and relaxing type of craft to do while you're watching TV or listening to your favorite music. So I hope you give this a try, and take care, and God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful Christmas. Bye-bye. I forgot to show you that I did add a rhinestone to this little pink button towards the end. I just hot glued it on here. So I just wanted to show you that real quick before I left. You take care. Bye-bye.